Hello, my name is Tanika Missouri, and I am a clinical psychology doctoral student in my third year at California Baptist University. Today, I will be doing a mock therapy session with a family who's coming in with some marital discord. Rosario and Jose have been married for over 10 years. They are a Christian family, and they have a son whose name is John. Rosario feels that Jose doesn't listen to her. He does not connect with her, and he doesn't love her. He doesn't engage with her. Often he withdraws. Jose, on the other hand, feels that Rosario is always blaming him and talking down to him, and so when she talks to him, that's the reason why he withdraws, to avoid the conflict. So Rosario feels unloved, Jose feels unworthy, and John, he gets overwhelmed by the arguing, and he runs away, which also contributes to the marital distress. Today I'm going to use solution-focused family systems therapy to conceptualize the problem, understand what each party is going through, and while giving them a chance to discuss from their perspective. And then we're going to identify the exceptions when things are good and there is not as much distress. And then I'm going to ask the miracle question. And in this case is, if a miracle happened and you went to sleep, and when you woke up, you noticed a miracle happened. Everything was different. What you desired from your marriage is here. What would that miracle be? And I will allow each a member to have the opportunity to explain what they need from their relationship, and if they had the exception to the rule, if everything was going well, what would it look like for them? And based on their exceptions and their desires, we will set goals to help the family come together in solidarity and unity and achieve what they want for their family. Thank you. Let's begin. Hello, family. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. It's good to see you guys today. Um, where do you guys want to start? Can you guys tell me kind of what's going on? Let's start with you, Jose.
Um, I guess I'm just really tired of being constantly criticized and just being unable to express myself because that's an issue. And then when I don't express myself, it's an issue too. So I just don't know how to move for that and just facing a lot of stress because my son keeps running away. It's just been a lot to deal with all at once.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you saying is that you're feeling a lot of stress right now because your son is running away. You're having a lot of other stressful events that are happening too,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not really effectively showing your emotion. Can you give me a little bit more about that?
Um, it's not that I'm not being effective, I just don't have much to say.
Just don't have, you feel like you don't have the words, the language for it, or you just don't want to, you're having difficulties communicating what you're feeling.
I don't think I am. If I don't have anything to say, I won't.
How about you, Rosario?
Things have been really hard. As you can see, he can be pretty difficult, um, he doesn't have, like, much to say, and I can accept that, but it's like, okay, well, why don't you have more to say, you know? And, with John, he's really struggling right now, and I can see that, and it's just so scary when he runs away, and, we live near, like, a busy highway, so that makes me so nervous, that he could get hit by a car or something, you know, and even just the fact that he doesn't feel safe enough at home, you know, that he has to leave home is very sad for me. Because I remember growing up not feeling safe at home, and that's sad for me that my own child feels that way.
Right. So you're saying that you're feeling the pressure of him running away from home, and you said that sometimes it's difficult with you trying to communicate with your husband because he doesn't have the words to say and know how to communicate with you effectively. And you said that your son feels unsafe, so that's probably why he's running away, and you're taking that's kind of difficult for you to experience that. And you said because when you were younger, you felt unsafe.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, my parents just were never around, and so it was like scary to be at home alone. And I would just like go to bed really early or um, be at school or do things, and um, yeah, it's just I remember feeling that I like I didn't belong there, you know, and so that my child, you know, is leaving, you know, and feeling the urge to get away from his home is very, very sad.
Right. So you're concerned about his safety. You're able to relate to your own feelings of being unsafe. I feel like that's very difficult as a mother. You're saying you're like you're internalizing it for yourself, right? How it felt for you to be a child. How does that make you feel now? How would you put that into words?
With my son feeling this way,
Did you feel loved?
um, I don't think I think compared to my friends, and I could see how even just they interacted or, you know, spent a lot of time with their family, it definitely felt like something was different. And so in a lot of ways, it didn't feel loved, you know, and that's the last thing I would ever want um, my own, you know, my only child to feel. And, you know, I am concerned with his safety, but it's the internal stuff that I'm even more scared of, like that he feels like he has to leave home.
He has to feel that he has to leave home. And I'm really happy that you were able to share that with me, both of you guys. How does this relate to you guys at home? How does it play out at home? How does it?
Well, we're probably not gonna get a lot out of him, so I can share. Um, we're separated right now. And so that alone like puts a big strain. It's uncomfortable, like not really knowing what being separated is supposed to look like, not knowing when I can rely on him. Like, which way are we headed? Are we going to reconcile? Are we going to head towards divorce? And with John, I know it's scary for Jose. Like, I know he cares about his son. But it just amplifies our fights, our conversations with each other because we're both so stressed about our kid, you know, like, and so it just feels like it furthers the wedge between us, you know. We don't enjoy each other.
Wow. How does it feel to hear your wife say those things? You don't enjoy each other. She's afraid of your son's well-being. And even some of the blaming, like you're not going to talk. You're, you know, how difficult it is to have you. How does that make you feel?
Um, I agree that with her on the aspect of like we're not on good terms with each other, and that's been like that for a while. I don't know how to get back to where we were. And then too, like the increased stress with John. It's just I'm not sure what makes him want to run away. But it's just a lot to deal with because, you know, like she said, his safety is our number one priority, and I hate for anything to happen to him when he does go out. And also to the blaming, I'm just used to it at this point. Like it's That's all I get. So I would be surprised if she came in here today and didn't blame me. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you for sharing. And how about you, John? How do you fit in here? Scenario?
Well, I don't like seeing mom and dad fight, and I don't like them when they yell. I don't like that either. So sometimes I feel like it's my fault, and other times I just don't know what I did. I know they don't like when I leave, when I run away, but I don't like seeing them fight.
How does it make you feel when you see mom and dad fight?
Oh, well, sometimes it feels like it's my fault. And other times I don't know what to do.
So when you hear mom and dad fight, you get kind of afraid and you don't know what to do, so you run away. Is that what you're saying is happening?
Yep. I feel guilty too.
Feel guilty.
Sometimes I know they're fighting about me, so it makes me feel guilty.
Right. So what I hear you saying is that you run away to get to safety, but then you feel guilty because you know that they're fighting over you. That must feel very difficult to have to endure.
Well, I also go to, my friend's house because it's fun. And no one fights there, so I also do that for that reason.
So if I can walk you through what I believe is happening in this scenario, is that you two used to be very loving and connected with each other, but somewhere along the line you guys started arguing more, and there was a lot of blaming and a lot of shaming, and then you kind of withdraw in those moments, and because you don't have the language to respond, and while you guys are fighting, John, he gets afraid and so he runs away, and he's running away to find safety. But he knows that you're fighting a lot of times over him, so it makes him feel kind of even more anxiety or fear or frustration or how would you say it again, John, that you feel in those moments?
I feel guilty.
Guilty. So, is that what I'm hearing you guys say?
Yeah. Yeah.
And would you say your goal is to feel more connected or to have better communication with each other? What will be your goal for coming in here today?
I mean, I would like to reconnect with my husband, but even if that's not possible, I think just being able to communicate better, even John, for him to communicate with us, and just tell us like what's going on instead of running away and me being able to communicate better with Jose.
Okay. What would you like out of this session?
I'd like for mom and dad not to fight, to stop fighting, to talk more without yelling.
Okay. So you like mom and dad to talk without fighting or yelling. And you would like to be more connected and have a better communication with Jose. How about you, Jose?
I agree. I think communication would probably be the best thing to work on amongst all of us. So then we're not constantly arguing, and he can at least tell us how he's feeling before he leaves, so we can try to regulate him and get him to stay. So it doesn't get to that point where he feels like he has just run away.
Do you guys think that there are any cultural factors or anything that are the reason why you interact the way you do, or is it something that can you see any other patterns or influences? I don't want to negate the cultural component that may be a reason for some of your behaviors. Do you think?
I mean, we are religious. I think we haven't gone to church in a while, and I think for me, like I've had a hard time because I feel like at some point, you know, my marriage was based on our faith and our love for each other, and now just with all the time, with how John's acting, like it just feels like God doesn't care about our relationship. You know, that He's not blessing our marriage anymore.
Wow. So because of all the fighting and the way your marriage, in the beginning, your marriage is going good and you feel blessed by God, and now that everything's are going kind of like different than you anticipated, it kind of feel more like God is not blessing your marriage anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Similarly to her, it does feel like, you know, we've hit this patch, and our faith is really important to us, and so it's almost disappointing that we've gotten to this point. And I do agree, like it doesn't feel like God always blesses our marriage, and I know sometimes we have to go through trials and tribulations with one another, but I just feel like we've gotten to a point where we can't, well, I don't know if we can fix it or not.
Okay, so you feel like things have gotten so bad you don't know if there's hope for it anymore in your marriage. Can you tell me about a time where things were good?
Yeah, I would say early on when we first started dating, like things were really good. I feel like her and I could communicate effectively, and we wouldn't argue all the time. Like I didn't feel like I was a failure or being blamed for everything I was doing. And it was just nice to feel like, you know, I was dating my best friend, and you know, just, you know, being with someone you enjoy their company. And of course we had conflict, but we were able to talk about it and deal with it in a way that was healthy, instead of like resulting to just like name calling and yelling and just being hurtful to one another. And so that, I would say, was like a really good point in our relationship. But now it just feels like when I do something wrong, she loves to highlight it, and so that doesn't make me feel good. And so naturally, like I want to get away because I'm not going to have someone in my ear telling me that like I suck and I'm a loser type of thing. So if I have to step away and get away from it, I will. But she hates that, and here she comes following me. So it's just really hard because it's like I want my space, but she won't let me have it.
So it sounds like initially when you guys began to speak, you both smiled and laughed about this initial time in your life when it was really good. So it must have been a really, really good moment that you guys were able to connect to right now in this moment.
Yeah,
How did it feel?
I felt nice. Just a nice reminder that we weren't always on bad terms with each other.
Is that hopeful?
It gives me hope, but I know there's going to be a lot of work that has to be done.
Right. And you said that sometimes you just want to retreat because you can't take any more. You don't need anyone else to make you feel bad and, you know, tell you how worthless you are. Is there another time in your life when you felt like someone made you feel less than you are?
Yeah, my dad.
Can you tell me about that?
I've had not, but he just told me pretty hurtful things growing up, and I just feel like I'm experiencing the same thing with her.
Wow. How do you feel about that?
The last part that you shared, that's really sad for me because that is one thing that he would confide in me about, was like how difficult and how painful and how you know, I could see like how much he wanted his dad's affirmation and stuff. To know that he's feeling that like he's not measuring up for me. It's not him, it's like how he retreats from me. That is hard for me, you know, but for him that it interprets, you know, that he isn't measuring up, that is hard for me.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. It helps to paint a bigger picture of what actually is going on, you know. And there are some underlying things that you guys both experience in life that cause you to communicate in different ways that are not helpful to each other. Your experience with your dad and feeling worthless or not enough, and your experience in your childhood feeling unloved, right? And so now you're bringing that into now. I want to hear about from you a time when you thought it was a good time.
In my marriage,
Can you paint me a picture of a day where you had a really beautiful experience?
yeah. I mean, I would agree, like, when we first started dating, it was wonderful. But I think something that I think about is, it was like shortly after I had John, we just had like a lot of special moments together. I think it was new and we were first time parents, so of course that was stressful, but it was like we were a team. And I remember feeling like very insecure about the weight I gained, and he would just make like sweet comments and say like, the extra weight looks good on you,
Oh,
you know? You know, and things like that, and it was just like, he couldn't keep his hands off me, like you know, we were there for each other spiritually, and, you know, he would make me laugh all the time, you know, and I just felt connected, and I know like we connect differently, you know, but it is hard, you know, like looking back on that, you know, I never thought that time would end.
so you enjoyed the physical touch,
Yeah,
the affirmation,
absolutely.
the time with him.
Mhm.
It didn't take it was the simple things, it didn't take a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And you laughed when she said that. How did you feel hearing her say that?
It's just, it's not funny, like, cause it just takes me back to like the good times we've had, like we would joke around and just be silly with each other.
Right, how about you, John?
I don't remember these moments. It's been a long time.
But what about a moment that you had that was significant for you and just felt like family?
Well, I remember going to Chuck E. Cheese and we all played the same game. And then we, even though they're, you know, games that you play one person, we took turns and then the score was, you know, all of our score. And then we went back another time with another family and we did the same thing. Then we were, you know, like competing to see who got the highest family score. That was fun.
It was fun. So you enjoyed your family having fun together, and then you enjoyed your family working together against another family. You guys work together pretty well. How do you feel you work together as a team?
Well, most of the time, I don't know, we don't work much together. Besides fighting, sometimes we watch movie or we eat together, and that's okay. I don't know if we work. I don't know.
I want to ask you guys this question. It's this idea that all this has been going wrong, but what will be the exception? What will be the moment or the day, the miracle happened and you fell asleep and then when you woke up, something happened and it was different. How would you know that a miracle happened? Like what would have happened? Tell me. What would it be for you?
We're definitely not fighting anymore, and there's more of like a familial unit type of structure. We spend time together and just enjoy each other's company. And also too, John's not running away anymore. I guess just more like how we were before, before everything got so hard.
How about you, John?
What was the question?
You woke up one morning. You went to sleep at night, and when you woke up in the morning, a miracle happened.
We would eat breakfast together, my favorite cereal, and then we would get lunch together, maybe McDonald's, and then we'd go to Chuck E. Cheese again, all of us.
You like to eat together with your family. Is something that you enjoy. Okay. What would you get from McDonald's?
The Happy Meal.
The Happy Meal? Mm. And what's your favorite thing to do at Chuck E. Cheese?
That game with the circles and you throw a ball like on the lane.
The ski ball?
Yeah.
Oh, the one where it goes into the holes and there's never a holes?
Yeah.
What's your highest score?
I don't remember.
It must have been a while ago. How about you, Rosario?
Playing the game.
No, if you a miracle happened. How would you know that it happened? You woke up one morning. What would show it?
And it was like a complete miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that maybe we'd be back sleeping in the same bedroom, and maybe he'd wake me up with a kiss, and then we would go and see if John's awake, and John's probably like making a mess, pouring his favorite cereal, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal. We would just laugh and, clean it up together, and we'd make breakfast together and, talk, and then I guess go on with our day.
Well, so I see this common thread that you all want connectedness and to spend more time with each other, and you want to communicate more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So let's come up with one way we can do that more effectively. John, instead of running away, what is something you can do to when that is more safer? Could you go into a room, or could you write a letter? This is where I am. When you guys are arguing and I feel unsafe, but I'm going to go into this place to retreat. What is something that you can do?
Maybe put headphones,
On?
play a game.
It would be much safer than running away.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Rosario?
I think maybe I could like pick something to do, like when we are frustrated and I want to talk and figure it out right away. Like I understand like he might need some space, so maybe I'll go for a walk or pick something just for like half an hour or something that I could do like when we're frustrated and need that time.
And then come back. What would you come back and do?
I guess I would come back and hope, after the walk I've cooled down a little bit and, probably thought about his side too, and then maybe we could talk and express our feelings to one another.
Okay. How about you, Jose?
I guess being more present and instead of just leaving the room when she starts to yell or argue, just hear her out and try to figure out where she's coming from. Because I do tend to just leave, so.
And all of you thought about a time where you were together and that a moment was fun. Is there something that you can do maybe once a week together to spend more time, quality time together? Or something that you can agree on?
Mm-hmm. We really like, we haven't done it in a while, but making dinner together. You know, we thought about making pizzas, so maybe we each make our own, and we might even let John like pick his own toppings, you know?
How about
I
you?
like pizza.
You like pizza, right? Chuck E. Cheese, and
Mhm.
make, what topping would you put on?
Olives.
Olives. Would you like to go help mom at the grocery store pick the toppings?
Yeah, I can do that.
How about you?
Yeah, making dinner together would be nice.
Making dinner. So once a week, what day would that be?
I think the tofu is on sale on Tuesdays, and he loves tofu, so maybe we could do Tuesday evenings. John and I could stop by the grocery store on the way home from school.
Okay. Tuesday tofu. Pizza. It sounds good. It's so fun.
That's just for him though. We don't like tofu.
You know what? John, you don't want tofu on your pizza? Okay,
I
I'll
want
just
it on my pizza, just as its own dish.
Oh,
Soy. We want soy pepperonis.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pepperonis, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll all incorporate something that we all like on our pizza on
Yeah.
Tuesdays and make it at home together.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet, a little pizza on each slice.
Literally.
So tell me how you experienced today.
It is hard. Like it's hard to hear some of the things, you know, what John says about us fighting, you know, and how hard it is, how Jose perceives me. That's difficult. But it is nice to like, I can't think of the last time we like smiled and laughed, you know, and thought about like, you know, when we were first like, dating and, you know, things like that. And it reminds me of like why I fell in love with him in the first place and the kind of dad he is too, you know, those are important factors. And so I think it was a mix of both.
It's amazing. How was it for you to hear that?
That's really sweet, and I agree, like, it was nice to just sit in here and not feel the tension that we usually have, and just like laugh about things.
Yeah. Thank you for the laughter. It was a nice to experience your laughter together. How about you, John? How did you experience being in here today?
I think it was fun talking about the good memories that we have.
Do you think this is something that we can keep going?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I look forward to hearing from you guys. We'll meet again next week. It will be Wednesday, so maybe I'll be able to hear about your dinner together and, you know, and if you do have a problem, how you guys dealt with it. So I'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming.